Hi Cancer, here is your quantum story for the year 2021. So I have one card to reflect the overall energies for the entire year. And then I divided the energies into three categories. We have, if you can hear that, it's my neighbor, he's leaving. We've got health, so spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical health. We've got job, work, career, finances here, vocation. And then we have love, self-love, friendship, oh, relationship, romantic, or this could be relatives. This could be a really tight or a really close connection with a coworker, that kind of thing. But I usually read it all as self-love, because what goes on within you is what is reflected on the outside. So let's start with overall energies for the year. Shadow Queen. Nice. All right, let me show it to you first. So we start with the Shadow Queen. Overall energies. That's really cool. Acquiring knowledge, insecurity, manipulation. Ooh, okay. So we're going to go through some really interesting things this year. What it feels like is that you're getting to know yourself so much better, that you're working on your insecurities, you're working on maybe your manipulative ways or the ways that you've been manipulated in the past, working on the insecurities that causes those type of actions, or that welcomes or that attracts those type of actions. And the acquiring knowledge, of course, is whatever you're going to be going through, or it doesn't necessarily have to be going through. It could be that you're doing like a review or a reevaluation of your life, and that you're noticing now it's a lot more noticeable. The certain patterns in the past, that certain insecurities perhaps have held you back. Why am I having a hard time talking? All right, so let's start with your health sector. I love when this came out. I was so happy for you. We have the Midas and the Miser. So this is the Midas touch card, and I remember when I first started feeling that energy of having the Midas touch. Everything you touch turns to gold. What? It's not usually this bad. All right, the Midas Miser. Light attributes: entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold. Everything you touch turns to gold. And delight in sharing life's riches. It's beautiful. Shadow attributes: hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. This in the health sector really feels like you've been holding back on your emotions, on your thoughts. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it feels to me like you've been holding back on your emotions, your thoughts, preoccupied with your finances, with how to spend the rest of your life. And so this year you're being challenged to look back on how actually certain patterns and certain mindsets, that's exactly what I was looking for, certain mindsets have actually been keeping you bound to a certain lifestyle or a certain way of being. And so in the health sector, so whether you've been hoarding feelings, or not hoarding feelings, but more so, holding back from actually feeling and expressing, and this is also spiritual, and I'll tell you why, because of the next cards. So we've got a new mindset. We've got feeling a wider rate of emotion, wider range of emotions. And we've got with that, we've got spiritual growth, because the next two cards are soul retrieval and standstill. So it feels like, to me, that you're going to go through something this year that's going to reveal your inner magic, your inner, like your nectar, your inner essence, that goodness in you that's only yours. And it's gonna come back to you. Oh, okay. So this to me feels like some type of Kundalini awakening. So you're gonna have an experience of the physical capacity, where you're going to have a Kundalini awakening. If you can hear that, it's my cat scratching the tower. Some kind of Kundalini awakening that's going to bring back a part of you, or that's going to unlock a part of you. And until then, you might feel like your life has been sort of stuck or in a rut, or just not progressing in ways that you've wished or wanted to. But that's because you've been missing this part of you, this ability to feel deeply, and this ability to have a different perspective. And so the last energies that are supporting that is the unseen and the flame. So yeah, your inner flame is coming out. That soul retrieval, this came out, like that soul retrieval is that inner, some kind of inner power, inner passion. You're unlocking really your spiritual side, which is why it's a Kundalini awakening. Your spiritual side is coming to life this year. It's going to be triggered, and so it's either going to be in the physical realm, so you might like know somebody, or you might come into contact with somebody who has the Midas touch, and they're going to help awaken your spiritual self. So this could be, you could be going to a psychic or to a Reiki practitioner, or it could just be a stranger, and you guys meet and you accidentally touch, and for some reason their aura is that powerful that something in you gets activated. And so you're going to go through that Kundalini awakening, and it feels to me like you're not going to see this coming, like you're not aware. I feel like because you've been feeling stuck, or you've been feeling like you wanted to progress, but you're not reaching the next level. And I feel like it feels like it's coming, but you don't really know how it's going to show up or what it means. And every time I hit record, my nose starts to itch, like I'm channeling. And as soon as I start channeling, itchy nose. So it feels like on your health sector, it wants to say that you're going through really itchy. Kundalini awakening, congratulations. That's going to be a lot of fun. I wish I would clarify to know exactly how it's going to present itself, but I'm not, because there's so many of you and it could be very different for everybody. Wow. Okay. So we have next, job, work, finances, career, vocation, and I said finances. We have the Knight. Okay, so we're still working on something here. Light attributes: loyalty, romance, chivalry, a love of honor. Shadow attributes: allegiance to a destructive ruler of principle, romantic delusions. So in your work sector, this means two things. I'm sorry, I keep itching myself, scratching myself, itching myself. Two things. You're in a job that isn't soul fulfilling, and I mean, after you go through that Kundalini awakening, sorry to say, but this is gonna change. Everything else is gonna change around you. You've been in a job that's just been like, meh. Maybe it pays the bills, but it's not passionately something that your soul longs to do or came here to do. And you're about to be given opportunities to get out of that into something that you feel has a lot more of your honor and your integrity and what you have to offer. But you're still at a level it's a brand new level. It's almost like you kind of know. It's the same feeling here. Like, you've had this feeling that it's coming, but you don't really know how or why or when or how to go into it. That's the Knight. It's like, it's not a king, but it's not a page, that kind of thing. It's not like a prince level. It's a little bit more honor to it, and to a rank to it. So it feels like you've started something, or something's coming, but you're still kind of in the middle part. How is this presenting itself? Yeah, okay, so there's a sacrifice. There's something that you need to leave behind, whether it be a mindset. Maybe it's the same job, but maybe you're getting to a higher level of it. But this usually is, if it's a job that isn't soul fulfilling, doesn't lighten up your soul. It's like this knowing. Yeah, the next card is the Owl. It's like, I don't know, I've been saying like a lot, and I don't know how it's come about. It's recent. This is recent. there's something that you need to leave behind, whether it be the whole job or the mindset about it or a position or something. There's something you need to leave behind because, and like you know, I said it again, you know, this is the wisdom card. It's the higher calling. It's calling you, and you know when you feel it. You're just not sure yet because it's requiring you to get into your emotions. This makes complete sense because so far they're correlating. Once you have this Kundalini awakening, once you get into this this aura or this energy of having the Midas touch, your heart center and your sacral chakra and your solar plexus, they're going to light up. That's the first thing that happens in a Kundalini awakening. It's going to you're going to feel a lot deeper emotions than you've ever felt. Maybe for some of you this has already happened. But you're going to feel a lot more. Your energy field, your aura is going to expand, and you're going to feel and know, and sort of like your psychic abilities are going to be triggered. You're going to just expand your energy a lot more and be able to discern differently. Exactly. This thing that you have to sacrifice is actually a part of your shadow self, and the shadow self is basically a part of us that we needed to protect ourselves at some point. But now it needs to be integrated. You need to understand that you needed to do that at some point, but if you need to go to the next level, you have to feel, you have to let yourself feel the emotions, the whatever situations are coming up, be it good or bad. You have to get to the next level, you have to let it flow through you. You can't just protect yourself anymore. It's an illusion. You can't keep controlling situations or how you feel or suppressing things. You have to really let him run through you, and the water is a very cleansing element. So as you let that happen, and I mean with a Kundalini awakening, it's just going to happen. As that happens, you really are integrating your shadow. You no longer need that illusion of a protection your protection now is going to be spiritual, not like a protection in the physical sense. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you. But yeah, so that's what's going on in your work. Is there's something that needs to be unlocked here. There's something that needs to be left behind, and you'll if you're listening to this and you're resonating, you know exactly what it is. And to get to the next level, you need to, one, let things behind, and two, really let those emotions, really let your shadow come up and observe it and feel it, and then and let it move through you. Yeah, that's what's coming up. Those insecurities, you might have already been triggered. Those insecurities, but there's a high level of energy here. Like, this is happening as it is happening. You can't really hold it. You can't really understand fully, but you know what's happening, and you're being called to let it pass through, to let it wash over you. Again, I wish I would clarify to know what's happening, what's coming next, but I'm not. Sorry, it's going to be different for everybody. Now, love. Oh, okay, so this is heavy. Okay. Which just makes sense again, because after a Kundalini awakening, this is the Messiah archetype. The Messiah archetype is an energy, light attribute, serving humanity with humility, and shadow attribute, exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. Wow, it is very much correlated. Your shadow side is going to come up this year for you to. It's unlocking abundance. This much we know. I'll show you. So the Messiah energy is, this being mirrored within you is it's like that feeling of loneliness. It's like you've reached a certain level of love or self-love, and you thought, this is great, I'm gonna keep it there. But no, so that's this awakening is coming in because it's not over yet. There's another level that you are meant to go through. And it's going to, again, expand your field, so you're going to feel a lot more. So if you're not in the right career, once this happens, once the Kundalini awakening happens, and you realize that you've got a much bigger life or bigger experience to have in this life, things are going to fall apart. You're going to take some steps to expand, to have a different life, to experience more of dreams or things that you've always wanted to experience. And so here, see, your shadow side is coming up. So whether it's been that you've been manipulated in the past, or you manipulated yourself into staying in bad situations, you are now being called to manipulate yourself into having a mindset of strategy. There we go. Strategy. That's the word I was looking for. Strategically going around the experiences that you've had to create a better life for yourself with the knowledge that you already have from your life. You should be able to, so the last card here in the set is a spiral. You should be able to go back in your life and look at your patterns, look at how things have developed, and notice at which points you might have made a different choice that would have gotten you in a different place. And notice how those things, those deceits, or those like self-lies or self-sabotage ways have, because in the middle of these two, of the deceit card and the patterns, is the abundance card. It's the corn card. It's like you've deceived yourself out of receiving true abundance, and you've repeated the cycle over and over again. It came back, then this could be just like, for example, relationships, since it's love. You had a relationship and then something went wrong. It didn't go the way that you wanted, which was a complete fulfillment on all levels. And then you repeated the cycle again with the next one. And it repeated. You're actually being called now to forget about receiving this from the outside world, and really going within and finding inside your own abundance, your own self-worth, and go through the same cycle but making a different choice, so that you can actually achieve this level of satisfaction. It's like your material world, like your money and your amount of love and your happiness and experience and joy. In this card, it's like you get it all. Everything you want, you get it all. And since this is in your love sector, if some of you have been wanting like a solid partnership, this is the one that you finally get. But you have to go within and do the work of realizing where you've been deceptive in the past, so you stop those patterns. So if you had a bunch of bad relationships, for example, and you've always able to see where it's the other person's fault, look at that situation, look at how it was where your fault was, so that when you saw the signs, you didn't, I don't know, walk away or talk about it or change the direction that it was going. You just let it develop into something that probably spiraled into much worse when you could have prevented it before. And that's your self-sabotage of letting the relationship get bad, instead of stopping it on time for you to be able to, it feels like an avalanche. It's like, stop the avalanche from rolling down the hill. Stop it right before it gets to a point where there's too much momentum, and then it goes to shit. And so the last two cards here is the medallion and the bridge, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So you get to this place where you are fulfilled within yourself, or you call in a fulfilling relationship, or you fix a relationship in your life that hadn't been working, and that becomes abundant. It's like you're destined to be successful at it, to have a sex relationship, or successfully reignite or improve a relationship. You're meant to have, it's like you're destined to have all of this abundance in love within yourself, and therefore outside of yourself. There we go. So you see those three lines? This is when it's you, someone else, in spirit. So you are definitely working on yourself. Let your shadow feel deeply. Have this Kundalini awakening, because you're going to be one of these. And then you'll pull in a partner that's equal level to you, that's also abundant, and that's also able to feel deeply and open up and be connected to themselves in a healthy way. And then you three form a third a third energy, and the third energy is that fulfilling energy. It's that thing that you can both tap into all the time, to have a healthy and fulfilling relationship. But it starts with you. You have to go through, in what ways have you been deceiving yourself? What do you need to let go of? You need to feel more fully. And I don't think you have a choice in the health sector. I don't really see it. I don't think you see it coming, but something when you least expect it, perhaps. Or maybe you are expecting it, you just don't know how it's going to happen. Yeah. This is wonderful. Let me end on this. So yeah, it's like, acquiring knowledge, it feels like you already know. And all of these, it feels like you already know. Maybe not the love sector. You need to see something else there. You're working on your insecurities this year, and you're working on perhaps manipulative energies that are still attached to you that you need to release to really experience a brand new level of happiness and abundance in your life. This looks really cool. I'm happy for you. So, Cancer, I hope this helps. I will see you next time.